Hey, I'm Kate, and you're watching the Self-Love Podcast, Quality and You. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Self-Love Podcast, Quality and You. I'm your host, Boytek, and I have with me my very best special, my very friend, Dougie's
my very best friend in the whole wide world.
Dougie's back with us again today.
And the people are going like, God, him again? Jeez, Kate, can't you get another guest?
I'll have more guests, but Dougie is a consistent guest from now on. So
take that.
Yeah. So they must like it. We're getting good views on YouTube.
Are we?
Yeah, it's like surpassed. So we surpassed my singing videos. You surpassed my singing videos.
That's so great because my voice is definitely not as good as yours. But
yeah, I saw those numbers going up and I was like, I got some singing videos on here.
That was a good look for you right there. That was awesome. That's what resentment looks like right there.
I would much rather you all be investing your time in the video, which is surpassing my singing videos, The Law of Attraction, than listening to me do a remake of Ray Charles. So good job, listeners.
That's not true because, man, I tell you what, that you talking about the Georgia? Oh my God, you're firing that one. That thing was legit. Yeah, that was pretty good, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's my favorite song to cover. So it wouldn't be a Kate and Dougie podcast if we didn't go off topic and then come back on. So that was our loop.
So just know you fast forwarded at any time.
Yeah, just know. We're getting to it though. Y'all know it's coming.
Chapter markers in this thing.
So Dougie shared some information with me the other day that came through, to him. And it was very not only on point, but explained in such a way that the information flowed so easily to understand that I thought this would be really, really helpful for everyone to get this information out there. And I was so grateful, as I always am, of him, calling me up. Hey, I got this, got this through, because I'm able to then apply that to my life. And, and that's how we get all this going, as you all know, just everybody sharing and spreading and and getting in alignment. So what he was talking to me about was compromise, which he'll go into further, splitting energy and purpose. And now we may not, because we don't want to make these so long that you all don't have time to watch them. So we may end up doing a couple more, but we will, as it flows, what is shared in this one and what we don't get to, we can share in another one. So I'll turn it over to Dougie, and whatever you feel comfortable talking about first of those three topics, I know it'll come through great. So,
well, the first deal is like, this is just, based on my own journey and my, like where I started from, I don't know, like 19, 20 months ago when I first got, fired from the Angels in October of 2019 to literally like the present day. Right. And because of the firing and me not having to go right back to work and rush into something, what have you, like I've had all this time to do the best I can to take care of myself. And for whatever reason, more recently, like literally like in the past week or two, I've been receiving a lot more clarity about what's going on in my life and where I'm headed and why and who I am and who I want to be and why I want to be it and all these things. But they the way I think about things, right? Universal law, vibration, attraction, emotion. So I everything to me is a it's a breakdown of vibration and energy. It's not about a physical experience necessarily, right? It's not about the wrong or right, the good and bad, what have you. Okay, so here I am in this place where I did this, and it's on my Instagram, my private Instagram, Douglas Bryant White, if you wanted to go check it out. But the first video was on um, the knowing who you are
Mhm.
and then not compromising that, right?
Yep.
And so that came from my friend said, I'm gonna pay for you to go do this human design deal online. And normally, like, you go into the astrology of things, and I don't really go far out there, right? I listen to Abraham Hicks, and that's my go-to, and I've been doing that for the 24 years, and that's just I've done all the searching and the reading, and like this is my comfort zone. So this is knowing who I am,
Mhm.
right? So
Absolutely.
I have this information. I did all the different book reading and seeking of different people and listening and yada, yada, yada. I always would come back to the Abraham information because that resonated with me the most and made the most sense to me, most logical, common sense. And so I could go with that.
Absolutely.
And then things, I could see my life way more clearly. I knew why. So I just kept with that. Okay. So here we are now to current day, right?
Mhm.
I did the human design class the online experience, and it was awesome. And like, it's like an hour and a half. And I'd say the last 45 minutes, it really started heating up where just the way she was describing me. And for the listeners, what it is that you give them some birth information, the
Mhm.
exact time, the place, the day, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then they print out a chart. There's like 3 charts that come out, and
Oh,
it's
that was cool when you told me that.
yeah, it's very interesting stuff for sure. And at first, she's telling me about this and that and the other. And I don't really have all the technical terms that she was saying. I apologize. But at first I was like, man, what did my friend get me into? Like, why am I listening to this? I'm going to be on this for an hour and a half. What is going on? And then like 30 minutes into it, it's like, it started to shift a little for me. And I heard it differently and I was receiving it better. But then it just literally really lined up with what I already knew. And you know how it's like one of those things, it's like, yeah, I already knew that. I'm just not owning up to it. Or I already knew that. I'm just not trusting it enough yet. Or I
Mhm.
already knew that type of deal. Okay. So like 45 minutes going through and she's telling me these things and it's purely confirmation. I knew it. I'm feeling like, I'm getting emotional because it's one of those things. I get emotional in this way
Mhm.
when I know who I can be, but I'm looking at myself as less than. And so I have that split energy, and so I feel that I cry a little bit. That's what makes
Absolutely.
me cry. But it's also because I know how great I can be, and I know how great I am. But then again, I it's not as stable a vibration as it will be one day. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
work. Okay. So here we are. I get off the phone, and the first thing I think about or get off the Zoom call, and the first thing I think about is like, man, knowing who I am and not compromising that.
Mhm.
Okay. So knowing who you are, and I said it like not in a way of knowing like what ice cream flavors you like, right? Not what
Yeah.
music you like. That's cool too. That's all a part of it, right? But I meant like know who you are. For example, like I like to be in quiet time more often than around a whole bunch of people. I'll do around the whole bunch of people one time a month, and I'll do the other things 29 days out of the month, right?
Absolutely.
So, yes, or it's just like I know I shouldn't have gone on the date, but I went anyways. Kind of that feeling of, well, I could. It's like a maybe, but it's like, well, don't do it unless it's a yes. Don't do it
Right.
unless your energy's lined up. Don't do, you know what I mean? That kind of
Mhm.
thing. Okay. So it's like, know who you are and then don't compromise that, right? Don't compromise who you are. Meaning if you know who you are and you know where you're headed and you are good with inside of you, it's like you have to have enough inner fortitude, inner strength, whatever you want to call it, to where you don't compromise yourself because somebody else says you should be doing this, or they want you to do it and they won't be happy unless you do it. Like those are just a couple examples of it, right?
That happens all the time though. I mean, people experience that, you know, all
All
the time.
the time
And
with
and
all relationships.
a lot of times they'll lean into the more contrasted of the emotions that they're feeling to try
Right.
and appease, or, you know,
Yeah.
not hurt feelings or things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that
so
happens a lot.
and so and so what I was getting at with that was like, okay, it's a non-compromise. I know who I am, I know what I want, I know where I'm headed, and I'm not going to compromise that. And so part of it is about the relationship side of it,
Mhm.
right? Between you and another person, maybe, you know, depending
Mhm.
on what's going on in your life, right? But the bigger thing was about the non-compromise between you and you,
Yes.
knowing who you are and where you want to head in your life,
Mhm.
and then you just make the decision to do it,
That's
right? Like
that.
that's what I'm doing. And so with that decision of this is what I'm doing, and it doesn't mean like now I have all this action, this is all vibrational, energetically lining up myself. And
Mhm.
then I go, boom, no more compromise inside of me, right? So, for example, someone wants to have a conversation with you,
Mhm.
right? And they're going to go all over with, and maybe they're going to talk bad about somebody, or maybe they're going to talk just, hey, I'm sorry, I don't choose to partake in this conversation, or maybe you just nod your head and you laugh, or maybe really quickly you change the subject, like, oh, look at the squirrel, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to compromise you.
Absolutely. I've had that instance happen quite often, you know, with some friends of mine that would be talking about things that were not in alignment with me whatsoever. And
Yeah,
I would either excuse myself, you know, politely, like, all
yeah,
right, you know, I'm going to actually, I had this incident happen recently, and I went on to bed. I just said, you know, and I didn't fib or anything. I just said, well, you know, I don't really want to talk about this, and I'm pretty
yeah,
tired. So I'm going on to bed, but I love you girls. And you know, I love you both,
yeah,
and y'all have fun. You know,
yes,
I'm out.
yeah. Well,
So,
okay.
you know,
But so now it went from like knowing who you are,
mhm,
and then the non-compromise about
mhm,
knowing who you are. Okay. And not in a fuck you attitude. Can I
right.
do that word on this one? Sorry.
I'll put explicit.
Not in that way, right? I'm not pushing against. I'm not
Right.
pushing against you. I just know who I am and what works best for me and what I love about me in my life. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now, then that led into splitting energy, because every time you compromise
Split.
who you are, you're splitting your energy. And so
Yeah,
think of
that's
it
so
this way.
true.
Absolutely. And so, okay, so then when I thought about it in those terms, and like, so first of all, I redefined compromise for myself in that afternoon. Like, I don't think of compromise the same way anymore. Compromise isn't between me and you. Like, we're in a relationship. I have to compromise going to basketball because you want me to go to see ballet, right? Like,
Right. I
sure,
understand.
that's a compromise inside, but that's not what I'm talking about. Compromising inside
More
of
of an
myself.
internal,
Me
yes.
and me. Exactly.
This is more of, we're speaking more of on the awareness aspect of compromise.
Exactly.
And you're doing
And
that.
so now, yes. And so now, so I redefine compromise, right? I understand that better. I understand who I am better, right? But
Absolutely.
now we get into splitting energy. And then I started thinking about all the areas in my life day to day that I split my energy, not even realizing it. And then I thought about it this way. Oh man, in terms of how universal law works and the power of momentum, right? You allowing yourself to think and feel. Let's just talk about one aspect of your life, one topic, one subject. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And it doesn't matter what the subject is. Right now, you're listening, you pick a subject, right?
Yeah. You want me to do it right now, or are you
No, no,
telling
no,
the
no.
list?
Like I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, I'm just
Yeah.
putting it out in general, like rhetorically. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just think about one topic that you would like to see evolve in your life, be different, not be on that hamster wheel. Okay.
Hmm.
Think of it this way. How many times about that very subject in one day, not 70 days before, 3 more years after this, one freaking day only? How many times do you think about that topic and you say, I don't want, I want, I don't want, I want, I push against, I'm not, I don't push against, I push it. Your split energy continues to keep you in the same place because you can't get the momentum headed in the direction you want.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where you get stagnant.
That's where we say stuck, but there is no stuck. You're
Right.
constantly changing into the same. But people want to know why that is, because you continue to contradict yourself energetically by the way you think and feel about whatever the subject is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But see, now there's even something else to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm not even talking about one subject or topic. Now I'm talking about how you just go about your day. And so that's when I brought up your girls,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're a parent,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course, yes, dominantly you love your children. Yes, we all know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even during the day, you allow yourself like, God, they're annoying the shit out of me. Why won't they behave today? Why would that? That's you're splitting your energy because you're taking your focus onto this. Man, I got to deal with this when I really want to do this right now.
Yeah. That happens to every single parent. I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, it's fine.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
it happens all the time, and it has nothing to do with the amount of love or you have for your children or how much you care about them. It's just we're human beings, and there's things sometimes we'd like to do other, than other things.
Yes.
So I put a lot of time into, when Dougie was sharing this with me, when he's telling me this stuff, I let it sink in, and then my wheels start turning, and with this particular subject he's laughing at me because I always look off when I do it. So I was shocked. I was shocked at how many places in my life just in a day, even outside of my kids, that I was splitting my energy. And I really made a conscious effort, and it's just been, when did you share this with me? Like a day ago, yesterday,
3 days max.
2 days or something. But since he shared it with me, I've been truly making a conscious effort. And it takes that. But if you want to be the best you can be and be in flow, as much as you can, you'll make that effort. You'll put it there.
For
So
sure. It
I
doesn't
have
cost you
been,
anything.
it does. Yeah, exactly. And once you make, and I have found for me, once I'm aware that my energy is being split, it is so much easier because I understand the whole concept behind splitting energy, behind not compromising my inner being and what's in the best path and what's the flow for me. Because I understand the basics of those now, I can identify with that terminology and just be like, okay, I'm splitting my energy here. I'll do this later. I did this just a little bit ago, and I focused my energy on that one particular thing. It flows so much smoother and more beautifully. You appreciate that moment more. You are living in the now. And then later, like today, time opened up for me to discuss the other thing that I was thinking about. And I got to put 100% of myself there. And I'm finding that happening with everything that I'm doing.
So let me bring it back now, because people are going to go, yeah, but what if you don't know who you are, and the compromise deal and the splitting energy deal, right? And so it's like, okay, so that brought me to this next thing, which is your calling, like finding your calling, right?
Mhm.
Or sorry, let me say that again, because that would be more towards the purpose conversation.
Yeah.
So the calling deal is more about, it's more about let's do it in terms of knowing who you are.
Okay.
And calling could be anything. So I'm not thinking big picture of my calling, like you can't do anything until someone of divine intervention comes, taps you on the shoulder. Now you realize this is my calling. Like, I'm not talking about that. This is how anybody and everybody can understand, first of all, who they are, and second of all, whether they're splitting energy, right? So we go back to emotional sensitivity, right? Knowing who you are is being aware of how you're feeling. Okay. You'll know who you are and what lights you up by being aware of how you're feeling when you're going about your day. And when you think about certain topics, items, aspects of your life or somebody else's or anybody's, right? Like I recently experienced that. I like, okay, I've always said like, I do like to write poetry, right? But I've been wanting to write songs more. Okay. So the other day, right, my friend sends me a hip hop beat, and I literally was like, I was inspired to write lyrics to a hip hop song. I am not a hip hop artist. I am not a rapper. You heard me rap. It is terrible.
It's
However,
it's not that bad, but your lyrics, those were golden. Like
the lyrics, yeah, I
they
thought
were,
that's good. But
yeah.
what I'm saying is like, I understood in the moment of the inspiration and me writing, right? And that the beat, that what the beat pulled out of me, I'm not, that's not my calling. I'm not going to go be a rapper on stage and start writing lyrics for, but I had a relationship in that moment with my inner being that we were connected because I felt it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's knowing who you are. And that's your calling. Your calling is following the fun,
Yeah.
following
The peaked emotions, the peaked
the
feelings.
following those inspired impulse idea actions, and not making them have to turn into something or they have to compute into dollars.
Exactly.
Especially not right away, especially if you're caught in, I hate my job, I don't like my life, what am I going to do for the rest of it, I don't know who I am. Like if you're in that position, there's no way you should do anything else but just, okay, well, what is the thing right in front of you that you could do right now that can make
Right
you
now. Yes.
this much better? And that's your calling, and that's your purpose of life. The
Exactly.
purpose of life is
Yes.
not this big spiritual scripture intervention. That's not what it is. The purpose of life is joy, growth, expansion, and it's hidden inside your day. That then, if you don't split your energy, right? Okay, so I had that experience. I
Yeah.
write lyrics, felt really good. But if I immediately go to, why am I doing this?
Or
My time.
attaching an outcome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why am I doing this? I'm wasting my time. I'm spending my time doing this, knowing it's never going to bring me any
Instead
income.
of just being like, this makes me feel so excited and happy right now at this moment.
Yes, because in these moments of this excitement, your universe is shifting and you don't realize it. You don't even know it, but you do know it by how you feel. You just have to trust that whole evolution of the shift for the experiences of around you is also happening at the same time.
Yeah, that's the key, is that trust there.
Yes, because we're an attraction-based universe. So that has to happen. So we went from knowing who you are, don't compromise. Don't compromise who you are.
Compromise your inner being. And
Yeah, it doesn't mean push against, be a jerk to everybody else. It's just don't compromise who you are. You know who you are. Just don't compromise that.
You know what I found with that, Dougie, real quick, not to interrupt you because I want to keep going, but with the compromise thing, when you approach it in a way that you're being very mindful of excusing yourself, of, not partaking in things, of the contrasted emotion, not appeasing, against what your inner being is being, what you're being led to, there is a way that comes out naturally of being able to excuse yourself or however you need to do it, it's non-offensive usually.
Beautiful.
It's very it's very it's easy
yes.
flowing.
It's very like you'd say, like it's very Buddha like, it's very
It
like
is.
I just bow out, like I'm good. I bow out.
It's just like that. And it's not any, like he said, it's not, and I'm just going to say the word because there's no other word. It's not fuck you. It's not that at all. And it doesn't come across that way. And typically people don't take it that way. And, and even if they do, and I like how you said, I heard you say this once, that's their stuff to deal with.
If you know where you're coming from,
it
alignment of your communication, then you're in that place. You're great. And it's okay for them to react how they want to as well. Because you understand, oh, I know why they're reacting that way.
Exactly.
against themselves because it doesn't feel very good. And I probably would be doing the same thing.
Exactly. It's full circle understanding of you
Yes.
and of them and
And
of the
that's compassion.
communication going in between.
Yes. And that's being a compassionate being.
Yes.
That's it. So and as long as you know where you're coming from, it's all good. You can let them be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's great. So we went know who you are to the
Mm-hmm.
non-compromise, and then I thought about the splitting energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I realized about what true calling is
Mm-hmm.
and what true purpose is in life. And the reason why we started talking about the true purpose in life is because, again, it's like the same thing with the calling. I think what stifles a lot of people is
Mm-hmm.
because, again, like this is how I thought about purpose until yesterday. Until yesterday.
I used
When
to
I
think
thought
this too. I told you about
yeah,
singing, you know.
what yeah, oh, for absolutely. What I thought about purpose was there's this divine calling, and that it's not to say like people absolutely have that in their life. Like
Have
some people,
dreams. Yeah. We're not saying like shut
but
all your
they've been
dreams
able to
down. Yeah.
create it. But they've been able to create what their divine purpose has been, and that's cool. Like no split energy, and it lasted for them because it kept evolving for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like me in baseball set me up for me now,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I don't know if baseball's gonna be the thing that keeps evolving me in a way that I want to evolve, knowing who I am and not compromising who I am. You see what I'm saying?
The wonderful thing is, and I know you feel this way, with this evolvement, there's not any you get to, it brings you to this level of appreciation that it's no
Yeah.
more like, I know with me it's no more of like, because there was a time period where I was like, man, you know I used to sing and I was on top of the world, and I
Oh man.
was
Yeah.
doing this and meeting these people, and just
Yeah.
really peaked. And
Yes.
now I'm like, I don't do any of that, and I'm like folding
Yes.
laundry, like, like,
Yes.
so there's this just little pit sometimes, and a lot of people get stuck there. But when you understand what he's talking about and what he's sharing with you right now, and you apply that in your life, and this continuous evolving beautiful
Yeah.
journey of awareness, when you are doing that, you
Yeah.
learn to appreciate that bitterness, or that not so good setting feelings and emotions that you may have about that's no longer a part
Yeah.
of your life, turn
Yeah.
into an appreciation that you had those. I had amazing stepping stones of that process to bring me to where I am now. And
Yes.
I met wonderful people along the way that I will continue to have relationships with in my
Yeah.
life, throughout my life.
Yeah.
And there was experiences from that pushed me so far into saying, I don't want to be this girl anymore, and into growth.
Yeah.
That all comes full circle. And that appreciation just builds that little bridge right over. And you
Yes.
just, here I am now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. If I wasn't fired, I wouldn't have stepped away from the game myself. I wouldn't have done that, right?
Mhm.
And then if I didn't step away, right, or if I didn't get fired, I wouldn't have been on this specific of a journey. Because for me, self-worth, self-love, uh, um, self-judgment, all these things, right? That's always been my biggest deal. Always been. Always.
Same.
Okay. Always been my deal. So this experience of my life is the ticket for me now. I don't have a choice. If I don't do this process, if
Mhm.
I don't have these realizations and allow myself the time to reflect and evolve, whatever, I am not gonna be a happy human being. Because if happiness is being in the major leagues and I don't go back or can't get back, whatever the situation is,
Right.
then my happiness is attached to something that I'm not going to get back to.
And you have no control over that. I,
Exactly.
I think a lot of people make those attachments to things that they have no control over. This
Yeah.
is not, this process is you are not attaching to anything. You are building what you will always have eternally. You will never lose,
Yes,
what you're
that's the
building
intent.
upon.
Yes,
Right.
that's the intent.
That's
So real quick, because I don't know if I made the point yet or not on the purpose deal. How I, you know, realize purpose now for me is the purpose of life. You know, because Abraham says, purpose life is joy, growth, expansion, right?
yeah.
I, up until yesterday, literally up until yesterday, those were really more words. I believed them, I trusted them, but they're really more words for me, because I was always looking for what's my calling, what's my purpose, what
What's
am I
out there that's going to bring me joy? What can I,
yes,
yeah.
what am I supposed to be doing with the rest of my life? All, let's say, 60 years left that I have. It's like, oh my God, how am I ever
That'll
gonna
drive you crazy.
yes,
Yeah.
how am I gonna ever get that answer? So I realized so purely yesterday of like, oh, that's what they mean when they say the purpose of life is joy. Because if you're purposeful, that when you feel joy, you allow yourself to not only experience it, you follow the trail no matter what. Don't question it physically, because emotionally it's there.
Mhm.
It's answered for you by the way you feel. So if you purposefully follow that, your purpose will continue to unfold, evolve, and work itself into something that will be so amazing for you and so undeniable for you. Your life's done. It's cool. We're good. Not done like you're going to Never Never Land. Done
You're
meaning
done. You're gonna
you
poof
got
into light.
no. You now you have your purpose. Now you
Yeah.
understand your purpose. That's the purpose.
That's
It's not
beautiful.
figuring out what's outside of it. It's figuring out, how do I follow that love, man. So that for me now, I understand that better than I ever have before. So I'm super excited about it. So now I'm going blah 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 blah.
That brings us to when you were talking just now, I felt like this emotion of like happy, like I was almost gonna happy cry because
Yes,
like
yes,
truly, because that resonates so deep. It's about that feeling of joy, like
yeah,
that whole topic. I feel like what you do is, you're in this boat on this river that's just flowing, and it's beautifully flowing naturally all by itself, and for some reason we as humans have decided that we are going to turn our boat around because we like a rock that we passed way back there, and we're going to go against the current and put all our energy there. But when you accept this and you decide, okay, this is right, and you can, by the feeling that what
feeling it.
he's saying gives you,
Yes,
truth is truth. We've
yes,
turned our boats around, and now
yes,
we are flowing freely down this beautiful river
yeah.
of
And
life and of joy.
and it's just your practice of thinking and feeling along the way.
Being
Yes,
mindful of those emotions and what's bringing you those, and being
yes,
able to release what's not,
yes.
where you're splitting.
Yes, being aware of what thoughts aren't serving me anymore, what thoughts I can allow myself now to let go of
Mhm,
because it feels better to think this way. And
mhm.
if it feels better to think this way, it's because it's the truth for you now.
That's your built-in
Yes.
guidance system
And
saying,
that,
hey, you need
yes, we're going this way. So as you let things go, that's again the whole point of letting things go.
Mhm.
The letting things go isn't about like, I gotta let this stuff go, but it's about like, the letting go is like stepping into who you are. So you're stepping towards who you are, not away from who you thought you were.
Exactly.
That's a totally different energetical place. It's a totally different feeling place.
Absolutely.
Me looking this going, I can't let it go because this is security. This is my blanket.
I'm
No.
content here. I'm scared
Yes.
to go away from this.
Yes. To realizing, I'm stepping towards this because I know this is where I should be headed. I know this is where I want to be headed. So I'm going to step towards this, not away from this.
Yeah. That's really nice. I like how that's put too, because that feels more like when you word it that way, and it, it's back to wording, all this stuff just full circles how you use your words and anything, like he just said, it's not that you're stepping away, it's that you're stepping forward.
Like you don't have to give anything up. You're
I like that.
stepping into something that's bigger, better, more awesome, more amazing. That it's
More joy. It's going to bring more of those good feelings. That's why it feels good for you to think about that.
Yes, and it's always that way. So for example, me being fired by the angels, if I chose to look at it in a way where I'll never get back, I don't know who I am, I don't know where I'm going, I can't be cool anymore, but if I did that, sure, then I'm gonna be stuck in a whole lot of shit for a long time.
Yeah, you will.
But my ability to practice this along the days and the months, years since, it's finally enabled me to gain the clarity and the peace of mind on it, to then realize what I'm stepping into. And I didn't realize that until 3 days or 2 days ago. One day ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yesterday because it was yesterday because we talked
right, because I was working out, because I had the two epiphanies. I had that what I'm walking towards deal and the purpose deal. Yeah. I'm on fire right now, dude. Tell you what.
Lit. It's like a freaking Bon Jovi concert.
I'm lit. That's what they say. I'm lit. That's what this means right now. I'm lit.
That probably sounded coming from my country mouth.
Yeah.
It was lit.
I feel good about it. I
mean, you should.
It's
incredible.
I don't know if you want to jam out too much more, because I mean, and even if this is only 20 minutes, I mean, it's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. And if you listen, if you guys, we're pumped up about this topic because,
that's where we are in our lives.
That's what we're doing. Like like every single day, I shit you not, I'm applying these techniques to the situations in my life. It may be a day where I feel really clear and I only have 5 or 6 places I need to apply. And it may be a day where, there's a lot of things going on and I may need to apply in way more areas. And that's fine.
Go take a nap.
Exactly. The fact that I know how to do this now, and that I have this understanding of this technique and how to use it and what this stuff, what this means, what splitting energy means, what compromise means, and all these things, it's like no matter the problem that comes to me, when I approach it with this sense of clarity and awareness and mindfulness, I will know the best path to take
for you
through it, for me, through it. And then once that a thought is applied and put front, in the front here, then automatically things just, happen. I know what to do. That's going to be the best, easiest way to do it. I know what's going to flow the best. But, it's just being mindful of saying, I'm not going to get swept up in this chaos. Take a step back, take a breath. Sometimes I just do a quick little box breath where you breathe in, hold for 2, breathe out, hold for 2. And remember that little thing. Okay, I've got some split energy here. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Where am I like feeling like
where are you compromising yourself?
Where am I compromising myself?
Where's my focus going?
Where can I balance to not compromise? Find your little balance area, and then follow that emotion and that feeling, and that will pull you out of that whatever situation that is that's feeling,
for sure.
That's what I've been doing, and it's working like a charm.
Oh God. That was awesome. That was good. I
like it. It's perfect.
It
was perfect. And I'm, you sharing this information with me. Thank you. All kisses today. I got all excited, feeling joyous and in the moment.
That's cool.
If you guys, if you listen to this, and if we, if you need anything broken down further, just reach out to us. You can even, if you want to leave a comment, you can reach out to either one of us privately, however you want to do it. Your Instagram handle's Douglas Bryant White.
Yeah.
And my say it one more time. It like went out a little.
Bryant, Douglas Bryant White.
Yep. And if you forget it or whatever, or you can't find it, just message me and I can send it to you. And mine is K Boytek. Yes, KBOYTEK. So yeah, just be mindful of this stuff, apply this to your life, make sure you are recognizing where you're splitting your energy and that you're not compromising with your inner being. Doing this makes you feel, if you are feeling, this is just for me, if you feel at all in any areas like you want more quality there or want to feel a little bit more self-worth there or anything, not compromising your inner being will get you that.
Yeah.
It has for me.
For sure.
So awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
to be back. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again. We truly appreciate each and every one of you all that take your time out to listen to us, but more importantly, that you are learning this stuff and applying this to your life, because that's where, that's where it's at. We share this stuff not so that we can get a bunch of followers. We share this stuff so that if you're struggling in your life, you can listen to this information, and like it's helped us, it can help you. So thank you so much. We love you very, very much. And as always, much light and love.